From being on the fence about his son's new relationship with a buddy's ex to flip-flopping on his words after traumatizing his possible daughter-in-law, here's why Michael Jordan disapproves of his son. It's no secret that the NBA legend isn't one to overshare with the paparazzi. Look at how long his feud with Charles Barkley has been going on, and the man hardly ever addressed it. But his son Marcus Jordan's relationship with Larsa Pippen became the hill he chose to die on, and there's a good reason behind that. Because according to the internet, the couple might be giving him the heebie-jeebies. Unless you've been living under a rock, you'd be caught up with the whole relationship drama. In early 2023, Marcus confirmed that the two were dating, which left everyone super confused. If you're wondering where you've heard his girlfriend's name before, let me give you a hint. Scottie Pippen, Jordan's ex-buddy and teammate. Yep, Larsa is his ex-wife. The two were married for almost 20 years before calling it quits in 2021. And they even have 4 children together. On top of this, I bet it only worsened the ongoing feud between MJ and Scottie. Anyway, coming back to Jordan. Some paparazzi spotted the basketball legend leaving a restaurant in Paris, and they knew it was a golden opportunity to ask MJ about Larsa and Marcus. At first, Jordan ignored the question, trying his best to get away. But in the end, he let out a blatant, "No, this isn't an exaggeration, and no, MJ wasn't trying to tell the media to bugger off."
You approve of it? No. You don't approve?
I checked. Now I know it's unlikely for him to open up about his private life in the media, but this really happened, and it was even followed by a confirmation. Jordan went on to shake his head, making sure there were no doubts left behind. Later, the paparazzi asked him how the couple was doing and if wedding bells would be ringing anytime soon. And guess what? The basketball champ decided to stay quiet at this point. Yikes, I wonder how Larsa reacted to this after all. She'd been doing interviews and ensuring everyone that their families were okay with the union. Luckily for us, she went on a rant of her own, and we'll be coming to that later. But first, let's talk about their relationship in a little more detail. Marcus had previously shared some happy news with the media, telling everyone their families approved of the relationship. He mentioned that the two of them spent some time together during the holidays, where Larsa got to meet the Jordan clan, and we can only assume that Marcus also hung out with the Pippen fam, minus the ex-husband, of course. Here's what the young Jordan had to say about the matter. "My family loves her. They think she's great, and as long as I'm happy, they're happy with whoever I'm dating." Well, I don't know about that. Clearly there's something MJ's been repressing, but his son's been brushing it off. Marcus couldn't care less about what his dad said because he thinks MJ didn't mean it. How's that for a plot twist? In fact, Marcus even broke down his dad's reaction for everyone listening in on the couple's podcast, Separation Anxiety. He quickly pointed out that his dad first laughed like anyone else at a funny question, and he then mentioned that his dad let out an emphatic no only when he was asked again, followed by him shaking his head. Okay, this still doesn't clear MJ of the mess he made. But Marcus revealed something really shocking after this. Did you know his dad texted and called him right after this moment? Jordan Sr. just wanted his son to know about the storm headed his way, and apart from this, he even told him not to take anything the wrong way. Does this put the two of them back on the approval train? Well, MJ should be the one to say something about this, right? Because when the article hit the stands, it really didn't place the NBA legend in a favorable light. At that time, word on the street was when Jordan was asked about his son's relationship and if he approved it. MJ said, "Hell no. That's enough to start some serious beef between the two." But thankfully, the father-son duo has a good relationship because as soon as he found out about this, he wasted no time in contacting his son and setting the story straight. Jordan told Marcus he didn't mean what the article was implying and clarified that he was in a playful mood at the time. In fact, his disapproval was pretty much a joke. As for Marcus, he didn't even give it a second thought when he first heard about it, because he's a grown man who can date whomever he wants. Get this, Larsa is 16 years his senior, but that's the last of Marcus's worries. As for his father, the young Jordan's relationship with him definitely won't be affected by his dating life. I gotta be honest here, Marcus's reaction to the whole thing was actually shockingly mature, seeing how he went into defensive mode claiming he didn't need any approval and whatnot. But what about Larsa? The poor girl was traumatized. She took it very seriously, unlike Marcus. In their recent podcast episode, Larsa revealed that she was traumatized and didn't think it was funny at all. After all, she's been working hard to develop a nice bond with Marcus's family. Plus, there's the whole shift of her not being MJ's teammate's wife anymore, and instead taking the place of his son's girlfriend. That must have been something hard to get over. And the cherry on top came with MJ's viral disapproval making the rounds on the internet. So, we've got to cut the poor girl some slack here. His reaction followed the poor gal everywhere, and it really embarrassed her because people started pinning it all on her. On top of this, the internet suddenly labeled her a liar. Thousands of comments flooded her feed, saying she lied before when she told everyone how their families were okay with this union. You've got to agree with me here. It must have been difficult for her. And right on cue, the reactions started rolling in, and Larsa really took the brunt of it all. People started slamming the poor gal for lying to everyone, as MJ had given a solid no when asked about his approval. But don't worry, some people started rallying in her support and coming after anyone who commented otherwise. Others simply called it a wild ride, saying that MJ had punked pretty much everyone in the world. Well, it looks like the icon hasn't lost his edge. Most of them just poked fun at the couple, casually pointing out how Daddy didn't approve. Some even involved LeBron James, saying his son would never embarrass him like this. For those of you who don't know, right now there's a battle going on in the NBA world with people trying to find out who's better, the King or MJ. And well, this latest drama definitely didn't help Jordan's image. But considering LeBron's son Bronny was recently turned away from a club because he's underage, I'll say the scales are balanced right now. As for Larsa, Marcus was on her side through it all, and he even had some takeaways from this situation. He thinks that instead of people focusing on getting entertainment from others' lives, they should actually focus on the bigger picture. According to him, this conversation would have proved that his father's relationship with him didn't depend on his love life, and MJ was going to love him no matter what. But instead, people focused on the wrong thing and only saw the headlines. There is a whole lot of truth to what Marcus had to say, and maybe with this incident behind them, the media will be able to stop fishing for scandals when it comes to their relationship. And guess what? Just to set things straight, Marcus reached out to his dad again to make sure that things were cool between them. And get this, MJ actually thought of this whole thing to be silly because, in his own words, "You don't need my approval." Well, I'm glad that Jordan was able to set the record straight, and who knows, word on the street is that his original disapproval wasn't related to his son's relationship at all. In fact, he was just commenting on his disapproval of Scottie. Maybe in his playful mood, Jordan took a shot at his former teammate and we all missed it. So there you have it, from flip-flopping on his words after traumatizing his possible daughter-in-law to MJ being on the fence about his son's new relationship with a buddy's ex. That's why Michael Jordan disapproves of his son.